welcome to Live Interactive English, and I am Karen.
Hello everybody, I'm Shane.
Today we're looking at part 1 of the decline of the Spanish siesta. Shane, why are you so tired? You're supposed to be, all energetic when we're doing the show, right?
Yeah, I didn't sleep at all last night.
Not at all?
Yeah, well maybe like an hour. I didn't get much sleep because I took a really long siesta during the day.
Wait. A really long what?
Siesta, a little nap during the afternoon yesterday, like 3 hours, and then I couldn't sleep at night.
Wow, so that's why. You shouldn't take naps for that long.
I didn't mean to. Because normally I just take about like 45 minutes to an hour. I'll very naturally wake up. But I must have been, I don't know why. Maybe I'm getting sick or something. But I slept for like 3 hours. When I woke up, it was already nighttime.
You should really set your alarm, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think you probably should take a nap right now.
I think I'm going to take a power nap, like 5 to 10 minutes, all right? And
I think 5 to 10 minutes should help you, right?
Just a little nap.
Okay, because we're going to continue the show. Okay,
go
you
ahead.
take a quick nap. And we're going to go into today's lesson.
You've put away a solid lunch and the rest of the day stretches before you. Though you know there's still much to do, you can't quite hold back a yawn as your eyes grow heavy and your thoughts begin to slow. What could be a better cure for your food coma than an afternoon nap, or as the Spanish call it, a siesta?
All right, everybody, I'm feeling better.
Really?
My power nap actually worked. Thank you for giving me 15 minutes to rest. I appreciate that. The decline of the Spanish siesta. Siesta. Part 1.
That's right. So what's siesta?
Siesta is just a small nap. It's a nap that you take to rest up during the day.
Exactly.
In the afternoon.
And I think it's very, very important to take naps.
And it's interesting because in Spanish there's a very famous word that if you're just learning Spanish you'll learn. It's fiesta.
Yes,
and
that's
fiesta
right.
means party.
Aha.
So if you party a lot during the nighttime, you fiesta a lot at night, you will definitely need a siesta in the daytime.
Hey, that's a good way to remember it.
Right?
So fiesta means party and siesta means taking naps, right? All right. Okay, so let's dive into today's article.
Okay.
You've put away a solid lunch and the rest of the day stretches before you.
Wait, you put a solid lunch, so I mean like you didn't drink your lunch? Like some people will just drink like a protein drink or something.
I think that just means like a good amount of lunch that you've had, right?
Okay.
Usually after you have like a big lunch, you would feel a little bit like, really, really tired, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I know you probably want to sleep. And the rest of the day stretches before you. It just seems so long.
Oh, how am I going to finish this day at work or at school? It's like another 6 hours.
Especially when you're tired, right? So though you know there's still much to do, you can't quite hold back a yawn as your eyes grow heavy and your thoughts begin to slow. So you can't really hold back a yawn. That means you can't really stop it from happening. It's like, I really want to yawn, but I can't hold it back.
Yeah, then if you yawn, I'm going to yawn. It's contagious, right?
That's right.
So what does this yawn mean? What does that
Yawn
mean?
is a noun. Well, right here we're using it as a noun. To open your mouth wide while taking in breath. Usually because you are tired. And sometimes maybe bored. Maybe you're bored and then you get tired and then you would yawn.
I just noticed you also let out air when you're yawning too because you make that noise, right?
You're right.
It kind of helps relax you too, right? So maybe it's getting you ready to go to sleep.
Exactly. So in our example sentence, it says, John knew he wouldn't get the job after he let out a big yawn during the interview. And of course he wouldn't get the job. If you're at a job interview, someone is telling you about the job, and then you're just like, oh. Does that seem very polite?
So unprofessional, right? I don't think anybody would hire you after that.
Exactly.
Okay, continuing. What could be a better cure for your food coma than an afternoon nap? Or, as the Spanish call it, a siesta.
That's right.
Siesta, not a
Oh, yeah, that's
not
right.
a fiesta.
Fiesta.
A siesta.
But food coma, though.
A food coma. So coma is like when you are asleep and you can't wake up, usually because you've been injured or something like that. You're kind of like an unconscious state.
Yes.
Right? So it's just a way to talk about you're so tired from eating food. So it's just a way of expressing how tired you are. You're like in a coma.
Oh, okay, you're not in a food coma, are you?
I'm not. No,
Okay,
I didn't eat a very big breakfast. Okay. But I still kind of feel like I would like to take another nap after we're finished. But let's get through this first.
Okay.
So a nap is just a short period of sleep, especially during the day, like we already mentioned before. So for example, you can say, I didn't sleep well last night, so I need to take a nap.
That's right. That's what you were feeling earlier today, right?
Yes, and I can already feel it coming back. Honestly, if you just start talking about this word yawn, just reading the word yawn and talking about it makes me want to yawn and makes me want to sleep.
Me too. So maybe it's time for us to take a break and we will be back.
Get some coffee or something.
All right,
Okay.
that's right.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。今天的课文标题是 The Decline of the Spanish Siesta。那么 decline 这个字可以当名词或动词来表达衰弱或者是这个衰退的意思，也可以表达逐渐减少。那么 Spanish 是形容西班牙的，它如果当名词的话是指西班牙语或是西班牙人。再来看到 siesta， 这是西班牙语的用法，去表达午休、午睡。所以我们这2天的课文就是来看看西班牙的午休是否即将走入历史了。好，当我们吃了一顿量多又丰盛的午餐后，接下来你就想说，哦，至少还有半天要面对，然后明明知道还有很多事要做，可是双眼呢就变得越来越沉重，然后思绪就开始变慢，忍不住打一个呵欠。这时候呢，睡个午睡，感觉是最棒的，可以用来治疗我们所谓的 food coma 餐后嗜睡。我们补充一下 ，coma 它表示昏迷，那么 food coma 就是指说吃完饭后那种昏昏欲睡的状态，常常就被直接翻译成食物昏迷，或者是翻译成餐后嗜睡。好，再看到单字 yawn， 它当名词表示呵欠，当动词就可以表达打呵欠。不晓得同学们有没有听过打呵欠是会传染的？我们可以用这个形容词 contagious，contagious 是形容接触传染的或是具有传染力的。下一个单字 nap， 它表示小睡、打盹儿，我们常常用 take a nap 去做表达。在文中，它用到 a solid lunch 来表达一顿量多丰盛的午餐。那么注意 solid 在这边它是描述量多丰盛的。好，这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，这边我们来学习 put away something 的不同意思。第一种呢，你可以用来表达吃、猛吃，尤其是指吃大量的食物，像 Bob can put away a whole pizza by himself。Bob 可以一个人自己嗑掉一整个披萨。好，再看到第二个呢，我们可以用 put away something 去表达把某事物收拾、储藏起来，像 put away your toys，it's time for lunch， 把玩具收好，午餐时间到喽。好，那我们接着回到课文中。
Spain is famous for its long midday break, when traditionally people drift off to sleep for a couple of hours before returning to work. The practice dates back to Roman times. During this period, people considered the day to start at dawn and would stop for a rest at the 6th hour. The Spanish word siesta even comes from the Latin term for this hour, sexta. Since Spain was an agricultural society for much of its history, it made sense to adopt this custom. Farmers would start their work early, stop for a large meal around noon, and then lie down to wait out the worst of the day's heat. In the late afternoon, they'd return to the fields and resume their labor until the sun set.
Welcome back,
Welcome
everyone.
back.
We're nice and energetic now because we had our power naps, right?
I had some coffee.
Oh, you had coffee?
Yeah.
Okay, coffee helps too. Okay, so before the break, we were talking about siesta, which means nap, right?
Right.
And we were talking about how after a big lunch, you would usually feel very, very tired. You want to sleep. So what do we do? What does that have to do with Spain? Or why is it called Spanish siesta?
All right, well, why don't we get into it and find out?
Let's do that.
Spain is famous for its long midday break, when traditionally people drift off to sleep for a couple of hours before returning to work.
A couple of hours.
A couple of hours.
So it's not just 30 minutes, it's not 20 minutes, so it's not a power nap, right?
Yeah, it's not, yeah, because when we talk about a power nap, we usually mean probably less than a half an hour, right? But usually
Exactly.
more like 10 to 20 minutes or something like that. A couple of hours, it's hard to wake up after a nap if you've
True.
slept for that long, right? Okay, continuing. The practice dates back to Roman times.
Wow.
Oh, so it goes back that far.
A long, long time ago.
Okay.
So during this period, people considered the day to start at dawn and would stop for a rest at the 6th hour. The Spanish word siesta even comes from the Latin term for this hour, sexta. Oh.
Interesting. So it just kind of like means like, yeah, the sixth hour. It really
Okay.
does kind of make sense because, like, you know, when dawn comes, the sun comes up, that is pretty much like the start of the day, right? Especially if you're like working on farms and things back in the day. And once it gets around noon, then you're gonna start feeling tired, it's getting hot, you need a break, right?
Exactly.
So what does dawn mean? Dawn is the time of the day when sunlight first begins to appear.
And in different seasons, I think it's different times, right? Sometimes
course.
maybe it's at 5 a.m. or maybe 6 a.m. or sometimes 7
And
a.m.
in different locations,
Yes.
like sometimes the sun never goes down for periods of time.
That's
Or
right.
never comes up. There's no dawn. So for example, Julian got up before dawn and went for a run.
Wow, I can never do
I
that.
could absolutely never do that.
I can never do that. I never wake up before dawn.
No way.
Okay, let's continue. So since Spain was an agricultural society for much of its history, it made sense to adopt this custom. And that's what you were talking about before, right? Like the
Right.
farming industry, agricultural society, it's like they do a lot of farming, right?
Right, you get up, you get up when the rooster starts to crow, the sun comes up, and it's ready to start the day. And it's a bit cooler when you first wake up in the morning too. So if you're a farmer and live in a hot area, then it's not so hot yet.
That's right. So that's why it made sense to adopt this custom. So to adopt something, in today's case, it means to begin to use or have something, okay? Maybe like a way of doing something. So for example, Bernard adopted a new technique for making pancakes.
But when I think of like to adopt, I think of like adopt a child, right?
Yes, that's also to adopt. Like if a child doesn't have a home, and then some parents, they might want to adopt this child, bring this child to your home.
And make it yours,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Like some people adopt pets, like cats and dogs, right? If they
Right.
don't have any homes, then you can also adopt them.
Yeah, okay, continuing. Farmers would start their work early, stop for a large meal around noon, and then lie down to wait out the worst of the day's heat.
Oh, because it gets really, really hot, right?
Right.
During noontime or a little bit afternoon,
And
right?
especially in that area around there, it is very hot during the summers. In the late afternoon, they'd return to the fields and resume their labor until the sun set.
Okay.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
That's true. And maybe they will be more productive that way too. They can get more work done if they're not working in such terrible heat, right?
And especially if you're doing labor, right?
But what's labor? And that is a noun. Basically, it just means doing something physical or that requires physical or mental effort. So if you're farming, of course, you're putting a lot of, like your physical energy into it. So for example, after putting in a lot of labor, Alfred finally finished the bathroom repairs. So after a lot of hard work, right?
Yes. Yeah, and I really think that especially after you've had a really big meal, I mean, I guess the only exception is breakfast. After you eat breakfast, normally you do feel kind of energized and ready to start the day. But I think once you've been up, you eat lunch, and the same thing to me happens after dinner. After
dinner, you feel tired too?
If I eat a big meal.
Okay.
Then I start to feel tired, and that's good because you want to be tired for a night, right? And get some sleep. So I think I should do that today. No more naps, eat a big dinner, and I can sleep well tonight.
And then you will probably gain some weight too.
Hey!
I'm joking.
I think this is a good place to end.
To sleep well. Okay, you're right. But we'll talk more about the siesta next time.
Okay, see you then.
See you then. Bye.
西班牙以漫长的午休而闻名，那么传统上人们会在这个时段来睡2-3个小时，然后再回到工作岗位。那这一项做法呢，可以追溯到古罗马时代。那时候人们认为一天是从黎明开始，并且呢会在第6个小时停下来休息。那么西班牙文这个 siesta 这个字其实就是来自指这个小时的拉丁词汇，那这个词汇是 sexta， 是来自这个词汇。好，那么由于西班牙历史上大多数的时候呢，都是个农业社会，采用这个习俗是有道理的。因为农夫会早早开始工作，然后在接近中午的时候停下来吃一顿大餐，接着躺下来休息，等这个一天当中最炎热的时候结束。那等到下午稍晚的时候，又会回到田里面要继续劳动，直到日落为止。好，我们来看单字 dawn， 它是表达黎明破晓。那么 adopt 它可以表达采用或是采纳，这个字也有收养、领养的意思。再来 labor 这个名词，它表示体力方面的劳动啊、劳力，那也可以当劳工的总称。再来 Shane 老师他聊到说，他吃完早餐后，通常就会活力满满，准备迎接一天的到来。可是吃完午餐、晚餐后，通常都比较疲累，都会很想睡。好，老师用到 energize 这个动词 ，E-N-E-R-G-I-Z-E， 它可以表达使精力充沛、充满活力。那它的过去分词 energized 可以当形容词去形容精力充沛的。这边2个重点，我们要进入文法时间。好，我们来看第一个重点是 when 当关系副词，它相当于介系词加上 which， 可以引导形容词子句去修饰或是补述说明表示时间的先行词。当这个先行词它是明确的时间点，那我们 when 引导的子句就是用来补充说明前面这个时间点。这时候 when 的前面必须加逗号哦，这是非限定用法。举例来说 ，Gina likes to take a walk in the evening when the weather is cooler。Gina 喜欢在晚上散步，那时候天气比较凉爽。那这边 when 的子句就是补充说明前面有加逗号。好，第2个重点是 make sense， 它表示合理、说得通。那这个片语呢，必须以事物当主词，后面可以再接 to somebody 来表达某人觉得某事物合理、有道理。例如 His words don't make sense to me， 我觉得他说的话没有道理。那另外补充一个句型是 It makes sense to 加上原形动词。好，那这时候我们就是用虚主词 it 来代替真正的主词 to be。举例来说 ，It makes sense to compare prices before making a purchase。购物前先比价是很合理的。好，那么以上这些讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
You've put away a solid lunch and the rest of the day stretches before you. Though you know there's still much to do, you can't quite hold back a yawn as your eyes grow heavy and your thoughts begin to slow. What could be a better cure for your food coma than an afternoon nap, or as the Spanish call it, a siesta? Spain is famous for its long midday break, when traditionally people drift off to sleep for a couple of hours before returning to work. The practice dates back to Roman times. During this period, people considered the day to start at dawn and would stop for a rest at the 6th hour. The Spanish word siesta even comes from the Latin term for this hour, sexta. Since Spain was an agricultural society for much of its history, it made sense to adopt this custom. Farmers would start their work early, stop for a large meal around noon, and then lie down to wait out the worst of the day's heat. In the late afternoon, they'd return to the fields and resume their labor until the sun set.
Get ready to play Word Rewind. Here's how you play. You will be shown a scene with the correct word or phrase bleeped out. Next, you will watch 4 versions of the same scene. Make sure you listen carefully because you will have 5 seconds to choose the correct answer. Then the scene will rewind and replay the correct dialogue. Now, open your ears and get ready to play. Get ready. Watch and listen carefully.
You should try a healthier lifestyle.
Now listen and choose the correct answer. A.
You should try and having a healthier lifestyle.
B.
You should try and making a healthier lifestyle.
C.
You should try and adopt a healthier lifestyle.
D.
You should try and living a healthier lifestyle.
Which one is correct? C.
You should try and adopt a healthier lifestyle.
Get ready. Watch and listen carefully.
How much did you eat?
I just 2 burgers, 3 orders of fries, and a shake.
Now listen and choose the correct answer. A.
How much did you eat?
I just threw away 2 burgers, 3 orders of fries, and a shake.
B.
How much did you eat?
I just eating 2 burgers, 3 orders of fries, and a shake.
C.
How much did you eat?
I just eat 2 burgers, 3 orders of fries, and a shake.
D.
How much did you eat?
I just put away 2 burgers, 3 orders of fries, and a shake.
Which one is correct? D.
How much did you eat?
I just put away 2 burgers, 3 orders of fries, and a shake.
Did you get it right?